and you see your friend has, maybe go to brunch like this weekend and just say, hey, girl, I saw that you did that, or hey, guy, or whoever. I saw that you put that up. I just wanted to know if you wanted to talk and wanted to make sure you were okay. Like, check in on your folks.
Yeah.
This is a tough time right now. I mean, it's a lot of triumph and a lot of boldness, but there's also a lot of triggering and pain happening. And so we need to check in on our people.
We need to create those brave spaces. I thank you, ladies, so much for joining us this morning, and I'm honored to hear your stories and be and to sit in company with the two of you. So thank you again. And again, learn more about Tarana Berg. She is a Person of the Year for Time Magazine, but also she was already a Person of the Year prior to Time Magazine because her work is dope. Join the movement. And I'm honored to turn it over now back to Mark Thompson, who's live from the West Side Campaign Against Hunger, Hungerthon. Turn it over to you, Mark.
Thank you, Jameer, for sitting in, and good to hear Tarana's voice. Congratulations to her on being a Time Person of the quarter past the hour. And as promised, folks, we are at the West Side Campaign Against Hunger, here live, broadcasting live. We're also streaming on our social media, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Make it plain. As you all know, we support Hungerthon. SiriusXM does, but also so does MIP. And it's a relationship now over several years with this lovely young lady, Allison Cohen of WhyHunger. Hungerthon is on. Allison, how are you?
I'm doing really well this morning. Thank you so much again for having us and for featuring Hungerthon.
I know last time you were here, I was saying I love to be on location and want to be here, so we made it happen, didn't we?
We made it happen.
Who introduced this young man to us
Yes,
right here?
this is Greg Silverman, Chef Greg Silverman, who is also the executive director of the West Side Campaign Against Hunger.
Hey, man, how are you?
I'm very good. Thank you for showing up here today with us at the West Side.
So tell us what's going on right now. What's going on today?
So today is a really active day for our volunteers. So it's our day. We get things ready for the entire week. So we're an emergency food pantry. And so in order to be ready for our customers to shop in our supermarket, we have to make sure the food is on the shelves and the deliveries are in. So we have about 20 volunteers here every Tuesday, stocking things up and getting things ready.
So everyone here who's working and stocking up is a volunteer.
I mean, we have regular staff who work for us, but everyone you sort of see in the background are volunteers from different groups, community members, customers of our food pantry. We're a collective in that way. So everyone pitches in to fight hunger.
Now, the last time I was on location, we were in Brooklyn, right?
Bed-Stuy Campaign Against
The
Hunger.
Bed-Stuy campaign. So is this a very similar process here?
It's similar in terms of the, I would say very similar in terms of the values that are upheld through the work, and it's the kind of struggle and fight against hunger that we like to feature because it puts an emphasis on the community, puts an emphasis on the quality of food. All of these things are incredibly important so that we're serving people with dignity.
Yeah.
And Greg can talk a little bit more about that, particularly here in the West Side.
Serving people with dignity.
Yeah, I mean, I think we realized almost 25 years ago when we became the first customer choice supermarket-style food pantry. We said, you don't give people a bag of food, you let people choose their food. That's dignity and that's choice. And it's very simple for most of us, but for folks who aren't given these choices, it's a huge hurdle in their lives. And the hurdle is this idea of dignity. And so we don't give it to people. People are part of our community together. So we believe that one of the ways to fight hunger is to do it as a team. And that means the community comes together and we support each other with great food.
Now, and obviously, and I learned this, Greg, it was a revelation to me when I was in Bed-Stuy, because we've talked a lot about hunger. We've also talked about food insecurity. And we were in Bed-Stuy. I mean, there were people coming in there that just looked just like us and were dressed just like us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that the same
Yeah,
here?
I mean, maybe you can talk specifically about the customers that come here, but generally, nationwide, majority of folks that need to use a food pantry, that come in to use a food pantry, are working. So these are folks that have at least one full-time working adult in their family and still are having trouble getting enough food on the table to feed their families.
You want to explain?
Yeah, I mean, I would say on top of that, if the people aren't working, most likely they might be children of parents who are working, or they're senior citizens who can't be working anymore, who might be disabled. And so we have this mixture of working poor, elderly, and kids that, we need to provide and help them get food, but because our federal safety net really is being decimated, And so we're having to step up in ways that we aren't capable of stepping up. No one in the emergency food pantry system is capable of stepping up to this. Like, this is systemic change that needs to happen.
How long have you been here, Greg? How long have you been doing this?
I've been in here as executive director for 1 year.
Okay.
So, but I've been fighting hunger full time for probably the last decade, and as a chef, I worked in the food service for the last 25 years. So I've been serving food for as long as I can remember.
Well, talk to us about that as a chef. What inspired you and motivated you to get involved in trying to end hunger?
Years ago, in my restaurants, I had farm-to-table restaurants in the 90s and early 2000s, and it was amazing to work with farmers and work along the supply chain and to serve customers great food. And partly as a chef, you just want to serve more people. To me, that isn't going down the road of fast food restaurants. It's about actually taking a cause that's important, like hunger. And I can serve hundreds of families every single day who need our support. And it feels really good and to do that as my work. And it's not my work, it's just what I get to do. So I feel very fortunate.
Are you still a chef? Are you still?
I cook for my wife and my newborn, but we have a team of chefs here. We have chefs who have cooked at the James Beard Foundation and who cooked at the White House who work for us. We have a chef training program, so I oversee everything, but as a day-to-day, I have a lot of other things to have to work on.
I mean, obviously you're still a chef, but I meant in the sense of, the big-time restaurateur and all of that.
No,
You're
I sold
here.
my restaurants in 2008.
Yeah.
So I've been full-time in the hunger and obesity fighting for the last decade.
Well, and that's commendable, folks, because here's someone who was a chef feeding people and is now feeding people who really need it in a different way, and that's quite commendable. Greg Silverman here with us, Allison Cohen, 20 minutes past the hour. We're live here at the West Side Campaign Against Hunger. So if I heard you correctly, today is a setup day today, and then customers will come in tomorrow, right?
Yeah, they'll be here. Customers come in Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We have many customers who are volunteering today, but this is a day that the only people who shop today will be our volunteers. So if you're a volunteer, part of your incentive is to get to shop.
So people may be wondering, what enables or qualifies someone to come in here and benefit and partake? Anybody can come in?
It's a really difficult process. You actually have to walk in the door. And the big step for us is getting information for people about their family size so that we can help them with more benefits. We have a team of 6 social service staff who are helping people get access to SNAP, housing supports, health supports. But in the truth, like anyone who needs help, if they show up here, we're going to serve them. Doesn't matter where you're from, who you are. Like, we have a whole community in New York that needs help.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the remarkable things about this particular model of a food pantry. I mean, you're kind of hitting all the points. I mean, there's an emphasis on good, whole, quality food, a high quality nutritional value. There's an emphasis on the community, so it's not volunteers coming in from the Upper West Side to, provide food for people who need it, but they're a part of the community. The community that is shopping here is also the community that is they're serving each other, and then you've got I've been to many food pantries across the country where there's an incredible hurdles that you have to jump through in order to get served food. You have to fill out paperwork. You have to provide you have to prove that you're in need. And trust me, there's nobody who wants to sit down and prove that they need food. So being able to open the doors and say, come in, if you're in need, we're gonna help you get food in a way that is like going to the grocery store and shopping.
It really is, and we saw that when we were in Bed-Stuy. Allison, do we have numbers, especially here in the city of New York, in terms of how many people are hungry, how many people are food insecure? Is there a way to measure that? Either one? Great.
I mean, I think you can look at some of the food bank data. They have a meal gap survey. I don't have the numbers off the top of my head. I mean, I know we alone at the West Side Campaign Against Hunger, we're serving about almost 10,000 families come through our doors. So there's
a year or a week or what?
A year. So people can come monthly, and this is the struggle in food insecurity. There's people who get seasonal jobs, and they might not need to show up. They're not, this idea of people like using the system. Like, people are going in, being part of the system as they need it. So people come here sometimes 4 times a year. So other people come every month, but it depends on what people's needs are.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, the stats here in New York City, it's about 1 in 7 children that that are considered hungry, and it's approximately 13 million people in New York City.
1 in 7 to 13 million people
Yeah.
in New York City.
In New York City, yeah.
In New York City. That's a lot of people.
A lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No question about it. So, folks, we're at the West Side Campaign Against Hunger, and if you can see a little bit behind us, volunteers and what have you are setting up. And as you started out saying, which I think is important, there's dignity involved in this, because that's one of the things people aren't. Some people feel ashamed, obviously, because of the position that they find themselves in. Do you find that maybe even more people would come and see you all if they knew there was a dignified way to do it?
Yeah, and we're trying to find new ways to, in a sense, market ourselves, and it's not as a food pantry, because I think even that word is somewhat shameful. It's a market. We're a supermarket. We're a very small supermarket, but almost 40% of our food is fresh vegetables, fresh fruits, chicken, pork, you name it, we have it and it's fresh, and that people should feel good about. At the same time, we're going out into the community, so we have a mobile truck that we just started to bring our choice model grocery store on the road like a farmer's market, and we're seeing huge success. People saying, like, this is amazing, thank you for bringing your market to us. They don't even think it's a food pantry, it just happens to be free, but the food's great, and I think that's important. Like, it's meeting people where they are and making people feel like everyone else. We're part of a community, and we shouldn't stigmatize people.
Speaking of meeting people where they are, we're on the upper, well, not quite the upper west side. This is 86th Street.
Right.
So you don't think of people in this neighborhood of being hungry, or being food insecure, but are there, in fact, does this actually serve people who are in this community?
Most definitely. There's long-standing, the phrase people are talking about now is aging in place. So you have a lot of seniors who have been here and lived in these neighborhoods. It's SROs, different community groups, large housing estates just to the north of here and south of here, where our mobile truck is going even 15 blocks away, because we have senior centers where people don't have the ability to come 15 blocks. So they're here. And they're also, for us, people are coming from all down the 1, 2, and 3 subway lines, from northern Manhattan, South Bronx, East Harlem. That's where people are all coming from.
So while we're here, folks, we want to invite you to go and make your pledges and your donations to Hungerthon. Go to the website Hungerthon, right? That's where people need to go.
You can go to hungerthon.org. You can also go to SiriusXM/Hungerthon.
SiriusXM/Hungerthon. Now, you can also bid, as we've been saying, on an opportunity to join me live on the air in studio. They're bidding on a lot of things, a lot of products, a lot of famous people. I'm not that famous. But if you want to be on Make It Plain live with me in studio, you can bid at SiriusXM.com/Hungerthon, or go to Charity Buzz as well. The bidding engine is right there. I may amend this. Brittany's here, y'all. She's not on camera right now. We're gonna fix that. But I've been saying, Brittany, we've been saying people can bid on an opportunity to be in studio. But, maybe we'll adjust that and actually have whoever wants to bid, if it's your preference, rather than be on studio, to come back out in the field with us and visit the WhyHunger campaign. I mean, to be actually out here. Studio's okay, but, we're just in four walls. I prefer, if I could be outside every day on location, I would, and I would definitely be out here with the WhyHunger organization. But in the meantime, bid at CharityBuzz.com, bid at SiriusXM.com/Hungerthon, or make your contribution through SiriusXM.com/Hungerthon. Please, ma'am, and please, sir, go to Hungerthon.org. So, Greg, we can kind of see in the background, describe a little bit about just what's happening here today. And actually, I might have Brittany move this camera around, because we can see all the fresh food right over here.
So on a Tuesday like today, we get large deliveries in. One of the big things we get from our great friends at City Harvest, we get almost 500,000 pounds of food a year from City Harvest. We get great bread every single day, huge quantities of the freshest bread from the best bakeries in the city. We bag it up for our customers so they can choose. Do they want bagels? Do they want baguettes? Do they want batards? Whatever they want, we're going to have it for them. We're setting up in our stock of a lot of our vegetables. that don't need to be refrigerated, getting them full stock so they look really plentiful, just like when you go to any supermarket. We have to get ready, we have to clean the shelves, make sure everything's lined up perfectly, and make sure it looks just like anyone would want the first day they go into the supermarket.
Now, explain to the audience, what is City Harvest?
City Harvest is the largest food rescue organization in the city, if not the United States, and their trucks are out across the city each and every day. For us, on a Sunday night, when you go to your farmer's market, if you're in Upper Manhattan, City Harvest is going to pick up all the greens and veggies. They're going to show up at our location on Sunday night and drop off literally tons of fresh vegetables that are going to go straight to our customers Monday morning. So our customers get farm fresh, the same products that we might be paying a lot of money for in the markets, but it's organic, it's local, it's regional, and those things are important. We're helping this organization here. Our customers are getting food that's part of this supply chain of a strong food economy regionally, and I think people forget that we're a big part of the food economy. 45 million people are on food stamps across the country, SNAP. Those people are buying food and need to eat. And if we can make a stronger food economy, we help them get access to better products. And if you talk to farmers, they all want to be providing for communities in need.
Now, the food is donated to City Harvest. Am I correct? And you mentioned from bakeries and everywhere, right?
Yeah. So we distribute about 1.5 million pounds of food a year. About 500,000 of that comes through City Harvest. We purchase about 40% of all the food that we distribute. We believe that if we don't have a lot of veggies coming through City Harvest today, we're going to purchase other vegetables. We have relationships with community-supported agriculture groups who distribute vegetables for us. We're creating methods along the supply chain to get more and more local fresh vegetables. We're going to buy because that's what you do for your customers. You make sure the products they want are there. We have fresh milk every single day because our customers prefer it over shelf-stable milk. So we have that for them. Okay. So whatever it takes for our customers.
Folks, 866-99-SERIES, 866-997-4748. If you would like to join our conversation, Allison Cohen here with Greg Silverman, and we are at the West Side Center now, West Side Campaign Against Hunger. Allison, we've talked over the years about food insecurity and what that means. For some of our listeners who may be food insecure and don't really know it, or may be too ashamed to acknowledge it, what do you say to people? What defines food insecurity? What should people be thinking about when they're wondering, I wonder if I'm food insecure?
So food insecurity is a measurement. It's really a tool that the government uses to sort of define who's hungry. And it goes along a whole scale, a whole spectrum from, I skip meals several times a week so that my children can eat is one measurement. I have to make, say in the winter months, I have to decide if I'm going to turn on my heat or if I'm going to buy enough groceries. So it's a whole sort of spectrum of determining what, with the resources I have available to me, how much food can I eat this week. So in terms of food insecurity, and the government likes to say food insecurity, we prefer to say hunger because we believe that that having access to food, to good quality, healthy, adequate nutrition is a basic human right. And so the idea that anyone in our country is or in the world is food insecure and hungry is really a violation of a basic human right. And it's largely an issue of this is something I think that we could debate and talk about, but it really should be on the shoulders of our government, who is us, the people, right, to ensure that there isn't any food insecurity. But that continually gets pushed into the private sector. So I think it was 25, 30 years ago, there were a couple thousand food pantries. Now there's close to 65,000 around the country, and these are private, nonprofit charities that are serving people food, as opposed to. Meanwhile, we're fighting for scraps at the table of in Congress to ensure that we get enough coverage for food stamps and for other supports. Yeah. And we're talking about children and seniors. We're not
And now with some of the new legislation, you mentioned it's the government's responsibility. That government, which is now Donald Trump's, unfortunately. But you mentioned that government. Things are going to get even worse now with some of the new legislation that's being proposed. You're likely to have more people
Right.
that'll be hungry, right?
Yeah. In particular, if this tax plan goes through, then we're going to see, there's the reports and the research that's come out, and the studies are really, really showing how incredibly harmful that's going to be, primarily to people that make less than $75,000 a year, which is the majority of people.
Most of us.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Folks, that's why what we're doing is so important. If this it concerns you as it should, it is the holiday season. That's why we do this, and individuals all over that need our support. Hungerthon.org. Please give generously. SiriusXM.com /Hungerthon. Folks, go and give generously. Allison Cohen, Greg Silverman, here with us at the West Side Campaign Against Hunger. How many? So I've been to Bed-Stuy. I've been to West Side. This is the second one I've been to, I think.
Yeah.
So how many others like these are there in the city?
In the city, I don't know the exact number in the city. Do you?
I think there's almost over 600 food pantries in New York City. There's 6 of us who are like scattered across the city, like the West Side Campaign Against Hunger, that are sort of at this scale. But most are sort of these small, right, church pantries based out of a school, based out of someone's community center. But those are this sort of vast network, this incredibly fragile web, right, that these folks don't have the ability that we have with a staff of 20 to raise the funds to buy the food. Most people are just going after scraps, right? Like whatever gets dropped off at the back door of the church, we're going to give that to people. And that's truthfully, it's not fair, and it's not enough, and it's not dignified for the customers who are hungry. Everyone should get a choice to be able to eat healthy food. Like, this doesn't seem, maybe it's just because I'm a chef, it just seems shocking to me that we're debating making sure people have good food on their tables and they can sit around and have a meal at the holiday time. It seems almost ludicrous.
Greg, how many people on average come through those doors on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday?
It's usually about 150 to 250 families show up. Thanksgiving week, when we were giving out turkeys as well with all the fixings, we probably got up to 400 families on the Monday, but that's sort of our normal, is 150 to 250 families.
So families usually come together, or does somebody just come representing the family?
They come representing. This is part about the choice and dignity. Like, if you are shopping, not all you don't necessarily bring your entire family grocery shopping. It's a waste of your time. We're very cognizant of time. How do we help people maximize their time, because it's a valuable commodity for everyone. So we want representatives to come so that they don't have to bring the whole family.
And something I think that's really critical, I mean, we're doing this now during the holiday season, but I think it's really critical to emphasize that this is an issue 365 days a year, and that it's important to give now. It is incredibly important to give now, give whenever you can, and to think about this in February. Think about this in March. We're going to hold you to your offer, Mark, to come back on the air in the off season to really talk about this, to really dig into these issues. For us, it's a social justice issue. This is an issue about justice. And the other thing I would say is that these small soup kitchens and food pantries that are not at the scale of the West Side Campaign Against Hunger, if you're inclined to give to them, give them money, because their money can purchase good, high-quality food. Give them money instead of giving them the cans in the back of your home food pantry.
Indeed. Folks, hungerthon.org, we invite you to give again and to give generously. SiriusXM.com /Hungerthon, you can bid on some really great things. An opportunity to be on the air with any number of your favorite SiriusXM hosts. We've got some musical, I don't have the whole list in front of me, but we got guitars, Bruce Springsteen. We've got a whole lot of stuff. So go and shop. But if you don't want to bid, just give something, give anything. How much? Because you gave me the numbers before. Break down for us again the scale. How much feeds how many people when people give? How much can feed individual families and whatnot?
Yeah, well, for WhyHunger, I mean, this is probably another thing that Greg could could answer. But for WhyHunger, we're a grassroots support organization. So we are not directly feeding people. We are building networks and communities of practice around the country to really fight hunger as a social justice issue. And so providing support to organizations like the West Side Campaign Against Hunger. So do you all have metrics at the West Side Campaign Against Hunger around?
We have some. We don't really think of it that way as well, because there's just so much happening, so much is donated, so much then we're purchasing, so it doesn't sort of work out in a clean, give $1, get a can of food type of way. But for us, it's the same thing. We believe that we need the support so that we can not only get the food in, because we're really good at that, but get the word out. And partner with the groups like WhyHunger, who are thinking really big picture of how you actually change the system. Like, it's a time for advocacy. So it's not just about like your dollars for a can of food. What we probably need more is your dollars so we can advocate to make sure that SNAP is protected, WIC is protected, and that this tax plan doesn't go to where it seems to be going.
So you advocate, the West Side Campaign Against Hunger advocates as well?
Most definitely. We testified on the for the state on the upcoming farm bill. We go to Washington repeatedly. We go to Albany. We advocate and with our city council members in New York, community board members. I think the thing to remember here in New York is we're very lucky. We have probably the most robust safety net in the country. So even though we have lots of hungry people and we're fighting every day to help them, people in the rural areas of America are in much worse off shape. And they don't have the safety net we have. They don't have a food pantry maybe within 30 miles, and they have to, how do they get to those things? So we really need to get food to some of these rural areas, and then in urban areas here, we have to pull the big levers that we can pull related to advocacy and making change.
Indeed. Folks, again, hungerthon.org, and give us a call to 866-99-SERIOUS, 866-997-4748. And as you just heard, they're doing advocacy work. Your contributions will support that as well. It's very, very important, especially in this holiday season. But as we were just talking about, this tax bill that is before us and the impact that that's going to have on a lot of people. Including, some of you mentioned rural areas, especially some of the rural areas who voted for the government that we have in power, but we still have to do what's best for them. We still got to fight this tax bill, do something about it, and you can help that with your contribution. Help with that with your contribution. Hungerthon.org, SiriusXM.com/Hungerthon. How long have you had a relationship with us at SiriusXM now?
I think it's been about 6 or 7 years. It's creeping up on a decade. So we're hoping it keeps going in that direction.
Well, I have no doubt that it will. So, Greg, as you said, the volunteers are here today, and you mentioned some of the volunteers, in fact, are customers too, right?
The majority of our volunteers who come here every day are customers. We have families and corporate friends on the Upper West Side and across the country who volunteer, but our customers are our community. We all work together. We sit down every day at noon, our staff and our volunteers, customers, and we have lunch. And it's just part of how we bring people together. We're about food. So we even, on our board of directors, 3 of our board members are customer-voted members of our board. So we really put this at every level of our organization, that it's a community.
Indeed it is. And I feel a part of this community, and so should all of you. We're live here at the West Side Campaign Against Hunger here in New York, and if you haven't had a chance to join us yet, you can see these 2 lovely people on video as well, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Make it plain. We're broadcasting live, of course, too, on SiriusXM Progress, channel 127. It's another reason why we want you to continue to support this channel and listen to Progress, because of the things we do around here and the things we support. And that's the reason why we ask you to continue to support SiriusXM. Today in particular, we ask you to support SiriusXM through Hungerthon, SiriusXM.com/Hungerthon. Also go to Hungerthon.org and give generously. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll still be live on our social media, but we'll take a quick commercial break, and then when we come back, take a few calls if you have them, continue to let you know how you can contribute. Stay tuned right here on the radio, SiriusXM Progress 127. Resistance Radio. Support Hungerthon now. Get woke, get ready for impeachment. This is MIP.
Never give up. I like that. This is Resistance Radio, and these are your sounds of freedom.
That's a greeting that Maxine Waters started. So when you greet people, you say, "Get ready for impeachment." You say, "Good morning, how are you? Get ready for impeachment." So, and she introduced that on our show, and so that's what we do all the time now. You sent me the live read.
I texted it to you. Did you want to bring somebody?
Text it.
Yeah, should we bring you on a?
Oh, sure, yeah. You've got other people, absolutely.
And it's a phone call. I need to run to the bathroom really quick.
Everybody, we're still
I
live.
saw it on my way in.
We're live here. We're going to be right back. Stay tuned. Again, hope you'll give at SiriusXM.com/Hungerthon. Those of you watching, SiriusXM.com/Hungerthon, or go to hungerthon.org. Our on-air radio level is okay? They're good? Sounds great? Okay, cool. I just want to make sure it wasn't too low. Okay, good enough. What, do I need to bring myself up here at all, or I'm good? Okay, cool. Okay, good enough. All right, thank you. All right, bye-bye.
So you're gonna come over.
Who?
Terry Hubbard.
Okay.
She's a volunteer,
Okay,
board member,
okay, right there, okay.
also customers.
Okay, cool,
Obviously,
please.
she can explain.
Sure. Absolutely.
It's volunteer with her son, and it's just great.
Okay, good.
I put a nice beauty for you today to have coffee,
very
okay?
How are you? SiriusXM.com/Hungerthon. And again, if you bid, there's already one bid up, but if you bid, you can actually join me in studio. You and a friend, you and one other person can come join me in studio for live broadcasts of MIP, and or join us on location. You might like that even more. That's fun too. We like being out here like this. I'm rocking my WhyHunger hoodie that Allison gave me. You can go to hungerthon.org. You can get one of these too. WhyHunger, as you said, it's right over my heart too. See that? So, please. Come on, Allison.
And bidding ends tomorrow.
It does. Oh my God. It does. So bidding ends tomorrow. Oh, I'm glad you reminded me of that. That's right. Oh, we need to know that. Bidding ends tomorrow. Tomorrow.
M.I.
Bid today.
Mark Thompson.
It is fun to be out
Get
here with Mark.
woke.
Thank you.
I want to say you can speak truth to power.
Well, thank you. We're live here and at SiriusXM.com/Hungerthon. Here with Greg Silverman, here with Allison Cohen. And who is this young lady right here? How are you? Please tell us your name.
My name is Terry Hubbard, and I'm a customer volunteer,
All right. And
and I'm a board member here at Westside Campaign
come a
Against
little
Hunger.
closer so we can get you. So now, how long have you been with Westside Campaign Against Hunger?
6 years.
6 years. What's it like working here?
Hectic, but rewarding.
Hectic but rewarding. How is it? What makes it so hectic?
Well, we serve a number of people, anywhere from 250 to 500 people a day. You know, New York has a great hunger problem, and it's not just the poor. You know, it used to be just a stereotype, but hunger crossed the barriers in different areas and different ethnic groups.
Indeed. And but it's rewarding, you said
Yes,
too.
it is
Tell us how it's rewarding.
Because you get to touch lives. As a customer, I started here 6 years ago. I was a customer, and then I became a volunteer. So I know what it's like to be on the other end, and I'm
Yeah.
still there.
Yeah.
So it's great to see individuals that come in that have issues, whether it be financial, physical, mental, and just being here and having them here and you're helping them, it makes a great difference.
Indeed. Well, thank you for talking to us.
You're welcome.
We appreciate you. God bless you. Keep up the great work. Thank you. All right. So just an example of someone working here on behalf of others at the Westside Campaign Against Hunger. Allison just reminded me, oh my God, bidding ends tomorrow. He says, that mean a certain time tomorrow at midnight?
Yeah, we'll tell you in just a second. I
we're
think
gonna look it up.
ends like in the afternoon, though.
Listen,
4:14.
mine ends at 4:14 tomorrow to bid to, don't you all want to come on the air with me? Come here, Brittany. So, and with Brittany too? No, she's not coming. But so if at least since Brittany don't want to come on camera, if you bid, you get to meet her in person. And likely too, because I'm gonna tell you, since we're doing this for Hungerthon, we may as well do it with Hungerthon. So if you come in studio, you can meet Allison and other great people at Hungerthon too, you know, or on location. Because if you come if we do it in studio, if you want to do it in studio, we'll bring Allison. Or if you're up for it, whoever wins the bid, we'll come out here to one of these great places
And we have lunch every day at noon. They can come and have lunch with us.
I like that. I like that. So please, ma'am, please, sir, make that bid. You've got a little over 24 hours. 4:14 p.m. tomorrow. Do all the bids in tomorrow? All tomorrow. Everything is. So if you want to bid on more than one thing, at SiriusXM.com/Hungerthon, please do that. All the bids in tomorrow, different times. So you want to get on that website right now and make your bid to support Hungerthon, to support WhyHunger, hungerthon.org, to support the work they do to support the West Side Campaign against hunger and all of these other great organizations. We want to be sure that you do that. And you've only got until tomorrow to do it. And that's how we've been doing this for a number of years on SiriusXM, and we hope that you all will support this effort. How's the Hungerthon been going? Has it been getting bigger every year? More and more people been involved?
Yeah, every year it gets bigger. I think I was talking to Sharon, our Director of Development, yesterday, and she was saying that in terms of individuals giving, that it's practically doubled since last year. So, and I think that's probably thanks to SiriusXM for helping us to get the word out, and also folks like you, Mark, who are willing to come on site and, amplify the great work of organizations like the West Side Campaign Against Hunger. So it's growing. I want to make sure, though, because there's so much to learn about the West Side Campaign Against Hunger,
Please.
and I want to make sure that we get a chance to let people know where they can go to learn more and even to give directly if they want to West Side.
Oh, of course, please, by all means.
Really appreciate that. It's a team effort from the grassroots to big picture and in between. And you can go to www.wscahwisca.org, where on our website, and you can give directly on there. You can go onto our social media feeds as well through that. What we realize, and I think you met Terry for a moment there, community member, volunteer, donor, board member, customer, these are just terms, right? Like, we're just part of this community. Like, all together we make change. And it's the same with our food, and we have to hold everyone accountable for that. Like, it doesn't matter where you're from. If you want to be a change maker, you can be one. You can come to us and volunteer. You can go online to different groups, and you can advocate. So use your voice, use your checkbook, use your hands to go volunteer, do whatever it takes. But, like, you owe it to the community if you want to be a part of it.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And what better way to give, what more fundamental, life-giving way is there to participate than to deal with the issue of hunger? Because we all need to be nourished, and people need to be fed. I was hungry and you fed me. You weren't one of those TV chefs, were you? You weren't on TV?
No.
So watch this. He could have been, look at this guy, he could have been one of them famous TV chefs like everybody is now on reality TV, but instead he stopped that and is right here in the West Side Campaign Against Hunger. And that's what we mean in terms of sacrifice and service. Greg could have been all. You ever think about going back and being a TV chef or something?
No, I like to cook for people. I like to cook directly for people. So I like to be hands-on with people, whether it's cooking with my team or ending hunger with my team. So, like, it's not.
Where did you learn how to be a chef? You went to school, obviously. Where'd you?
I was a self-taught chef, and then I went
really?
to culinary school, and I've cooked in the UK and in West Africa and Southeast Asia and the U.S. So I've been all over the world cooking and fighting hunger.
And now, right here in the West Side Campaign Against Hunger, continuing to give his time, continuing to donate to people through his time and service and his skills, ladies and gentlemen. So again, SiriusXM.com/Hungerthon. I'm gonna keep saying it until I go off the air, because we want you to bid. All right, go to hungerthon.org. You can also give through hungerthon.org and the website, West Side Campaign Against Hunger, WSCAH.
That's correct, .org.
WSCAH.org. We've also got it on our social media now, as this is streaming as well. Their Twitter handle, WSCAH, Twitter handle for WhyHunger, #Hungerthon. And listen, y'all got a couple things to do today. Call all your friends in Alabama, tell them to vote. That's one. Just two things I got you to do today. Two things. And I got your back. So if you're at work, you're not supposed to do that kind of thing. Do it anyway and tell your employer supervisor to call me. All right? And I will talk to them. Tell everybody in Alabama to vote. And also, you've got today to place your bid at SiriusXM.com/Hungerthon, and also call your friend. So when you make that call to Alabama, you're going to tell everybody in Alabama two things. You're going to say, vote today, but also go to SiriusXM.com/Hungerthon. Those two things in Alabama. Everybody else that you talk to, tell them to call their friend in Alabama and to go to SiriusXM.com/Hungerthon. Very, very important that you do that today on this very, very important day. This is the holidays. Christmas is next week, right?
Oh, God, 2 weeks, right? 2 weeks? 2 weeks.
About a week and a half.
About a week and a half.
It's not full 2 weeks. So this is you all are you all open through the holidays and through the Christmas season?
Yeah, we're open year round. I mean, people are hungry year round. People don't take a break from hunger for the holidays.
Yeah, of course. So, and that's a very important time. And again, it's around this time of year that we have this this relationship. I want to thank you both. This has been incredible. It's always good to get out in the field.
Yeah.
So invite me again. I hope so. Thank you for my sweatshirt. You see I'm rocking it. Website one more time.
www.wscah.org.
Give directly to the West Side Campaign Against Hunger. Thank you, Greg. Pleasure to meet you. Pleasure to see you. And Allison.
Always, Mark. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Mwah. So, and a lot of great people here. Other folk here who are great workers. Good to see them as well. They don't want to be on camera either. We're gonna do counseling for that next time because we're gonna get more folk on camera. I don't understand that. But folks, have a great day. Don't forget SiriusXM.com/Hungerthon. Get woke and vote. Every soul to the polls. Call everybody you know in Alabama. Get them out to vote. We'll have some big news in the morning as well. So we appreciate everybody joining us as we get ready to go. Stay tuned. Stephanie Miller, Tom Hartman, Dean Obadella. I'm sorry, Michelangelo Signoretti and Dean Obadella. We're all out here fighting, y'all. Fight with us. Don't give up on us. Stay with us, okay? And support SiriusXM progress. If all minds are clear, it has been made plain.
Oh, don't go and talk about my father. God is my friend. Jesus is my friend.